everyone, in the previous video we have discussed about the magnetic field produced by the current when it flows through the straight wire, solenoid and a circular loop. And there we have also studied about the Fleming's left-hand rule, and we have compared solenoid with the bar magnet. Now in this video we will be discussing about the electromagnet, permanent magnet, Fleming's left-hand rule, motor, and the basic principle how the motor will operate. So first let us discuss about the electromagnet and permanent magnet. So these are the common type of magnet that we see around us very often. So this is called the bar magnet and this is called the horseshoe magnet. And here the north pole and south pole of both the type of a magnet is fixed. So this will be north pole only, this will be south pole only. So the north pole and south pole of these two magnets cannot be interchanged. But we have already studied that the solenoid, when the current flows through it, also acts as a magnet. So if the current flows in from this side and flows out from this end, then here will be the north polarity and here will be the south polarity. So that the solenoid will act as a magnet. And here we can change the north polarity and south polarity just by reversing the direction of flow of current. So if this is the flow of current, then here it will be north polarity and south polarity. But if the current enters from this side and comes out from this end, then here it will be south polarity. Before here it was north polarity, and here it will be north polarity. So if the direction of the current changes, then the polarity of the solenoid also changes. So this is the difference between these two type of magnet. So this magnet we call it permanent magnet, but this solenoid we call it electromagnet because it acts as a magnet only when the current flows through it. Now we discuss about the basic difference between the electromagnet and permanent magnet. So this solenoid will act as an electromagnet and this bar permanent magnet. So the first difference is, for electromagnet, it produces magnetic field only when the current is passed through it. So this solenoid will act as a magnet only when the current allowed to flow through it. When there is no current, then this solenoid will not act as a magnet. While the permanent magnet does not require current to produce magnetic field. So this bar magnet will not require any current to produce magnetic field. It has its own magnetic field. The second point for the electromagnet is the strength of the magnetic field depends on the amount of flow of current. So if the larger current flows through the solenoid, then the magnetic field produced by the solenoid will be large. And if the current flowing through the solenoid will be small, in that case, the magnetic field produced by the solenoid will be small. So depending upon the flow of current, the solenoid produces the magnetic field of lower or higher strength. But the strength of the magnetic field for the permanent magnet is fixed. So here for this bar magnet, the strength is fixed. It cannot be increased or decreased at our will. So it remains fixed. The third point about the electromagnet is its polarity can be reversed by reversing the direction of flow of current. This I have already explained just before. So we can reverse this north polarity and south polarity by reversing the direction of flow of current. But in permanent magnet, the polarity cannot be reversed. So this north pole and south pole cannot be changed. So these are the three basic differences between the electromagnet and permanent magnet. Now we move on to the next topic, and the topic is Fleming's left-hand rule. According to this rule, If we arrange the thumb, the center finger and the forefinger of the left hand at right angle to each other, then the thumb points towards the direction of the magnetic force, the center finger gives the direction of the current, and the forefinger points towards the direction of the magnetic field. So this Fleming's left hand rule gives the relation or the direction between the magnetic force, the direction of the current, and the magnetic field. So we have to hold the three fingers in this position. So this thumb, this forefinger and this center finger, so that they are at 90 degree to each other. And if this center finger gives the direction of the current and forefinger gives the direction of the magnetic field, then the thumb will give the direction of the force. Now we have to use this concept in order to find the force acting on the conductor. So before understanding this topic, force acting on the current carrying conductor, let us see one activity. So this is the activity setup. There is a battery here and this is a wire through which the current flows, and this is a conductor, and this is a switch. Now we have to place here a magnet, horseshoe magnet, and it has north pole upward and south pole downward. And what happens here is, when we switch on, the current flows from right in this direction towards left, and through the conductor it flows from right to left. And here what happens is, due to the flow of current through the conductor, as we already know that the magnetic field is produced by the conductor, and there is already the magnetic field due to this horseshoe magnet. So there are now two magnetic fields which will interact with each other, and due to the interaction of the magnetic field produced by this conductor and the horseshoe magnet, this conductor will be deflected, and the deflection will be here towards us in this direction, which will be given by the Fleming's left hand rule, just we have studied before. So the direction of the magnetic field is from north to south, so top to bottom, which is given by the forefinger, and direction of the current is from right to left, which is given by the center finger, and the force which is acting on this conductor will be given by the thumb, which is towards us, so that this conductor will get deflected towards us. This is the activity I have explained just before. Now let us see what happens when we reverse the direction of the current. So here the direction of the current is from right to left, but what happens if we change the direction of the current, that is the current flows from left to right. So here is the experimental setup where the current flows from left to right, here by reversing the battery, and according to the Fleming's left hand rule, due to the interaction of the magnetic field produced by this conductor when the current flows through, and the magnetic field due to this horseshoe magnet, this conductor will be deflected away from us, which will be given by left hand rule. So now the direction of the current is from left to right, so given by this center finger, and direction of the magnetic field is from top to bottom, so given by this forefinger, and the thumb, which is pointing away from us, will give the direction of the force which is acting on this conductor. So this is all about the activity. Now we move on to the next topic, and the topic is electric motor. In this topic, we try to understand how the motor will work according to the concept that we have gained just before, given by the Fleming's left-hand rule and the force on the current carrying conductor. So this electric motor is nothing but a rotating device that converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. So we have to supply the current to the motor and that motor will rotate. There are different form of motors. So few examples are here. So if we supply the current to this motor, then this will rotate, and here same, this will rotate, and here there is a wire also. So if we supply the current to this motor, then the coil inside will rotate and this will also rotate. So this motor have very large applications. Some of the device where the electric motor is used, here I have listed is computer. In this CPU inside, there is a fan used to cool the motherboard. So that fan works on the basic principle of the motor. So motor is there in the fan. The blade of the fan is rotated by the motor. And the second is the mixie or the grinder. So this will grind the spices and all with the help of motor only, which will rotate the blade which is present over here. And the third one is the fan. So inside the fan here there will be a motor which will help to rotate these blades of the fan. So motor is very essential in today's life. So now let us discuss about the motor, how it works, and what are the different parts of the motor. Now let us discuss about the different parts of electric motor. So the diagram is here. The first part is the field magnet. So this north pole and south pole is the field magnet which produces a uniform magnetic field in between them within this gap. The second is an armature or rotor. So this A, B, C, D is an armature. We call it rotor also because it rotates between this north pole and south pole. When we pass the current through this armature, then this armature will rotate here between north pole and south pole. That's why it is also known as rotor. The third is split ring or commutator. So split ring is here to brown, this P and Q. So this acts as a commutator. Commutator means here which help us to reverse the direction of flow of current. Number 4 is brushes. So brushes are here X and Y. So which makes a contact between this moving part and the fixed wire here. And the last one is axle. So this is the axle in which the rotor will rotate. So these are the 5 different parts of the electric motor. You have to remember this diagram. It will sometimes come in the exam also. Now we discuss about how the electric motor works. So I have already discussed that the different parts of the electric motor. The basic principle of electric motor is based on the magnetic effect of electric current. So when we pass the current through this armature, then it will produce a magnetic field, and that magnetic field will interact with the magnetic field which is already present over there. And due to the interaction of the two magnetic fields, this armature will get deflected and it will rotate. When the current is supplied, the force on the arm AB means here, it pushes downward. So this AB part of the armature will be pushed downwards by the force, while the force on the arm CD pushes it upward. So the force which is acting on the side CD will push this side upward. So here it will be downwards and here it will be upwards, according to the Fleming's left-hand rule. So this is the direction of force acting on the side AB, and this is the direction of the force acting on the CD. So this side will move down and this side will move up, so that this armature will rotate in this direction, which is anti-clockwise. Thus the coil and the axial rotate in anti-clockwise direction. On reversing the current, the direction of the rotation also changes. So if we interchange the direction of flow of current here, then the direction of the rotation of this coil will also change. So in this setup, the coil will rotate in this direction, which means anti-clockwise. And if we interchange the position of the battery here and the direction of the current is changed, then this coil or the armature will rotate in clockwise direction, in this direction. So by interchanging the direction of flow of current, we can change the direction of rotation also. So here is an animation showing how the armature will rotate between North Pole and South Pole. So this green arrow gives the direction of the magnetic field, and this gives the direction of the rotation. So in this way, when we supply the current to the motor, it will rotate. In the exam, the question may come from this topic like this. What is the use of split ring or commutator in the electric motor? So the answer for this I have already explained just before. So this commutator is nothing but a setup which helps to reverse the direction of flow of current. So that we can write, it is a device that is used to reverse the direction of current flowing through the coil after every half rotation of the coil. Due to this, the coil continues to rotate in the same direction. And similarly, we discuss about the use of brushes. So this X and Y. So why it is used is, it is a device that is used to conduct current between the stationary wire and moving parts of the electric motor. So it is a contact which allows the current to pass from this stationary wire. This wire is not rotating, but this armature is rotating. So it is a contact between the stationary part wire and the rotating part, this armature of the electric motor. So this answer you must keep in mind. It very often comes in the board exam.